Well, now we're going to move from the city level to the county level. Now, the county of Los Angeles is quite unique. It's huge. It's a large, complex region. There's 88 municipalities and unincorporated areas. It encompasses more than 4,000 square miles, and according to the 2010 census, at 9.8 million people, LA County is the most populous in the United States, with a population density of nearly 2,500 people per square mile. It's the home of over 250,000 businesses. Now, events and incidents that happen here, they'll involve multiple jurisdictions and cross several jurisdictional boundaries. We're going to hear from the county level, both from the Sheriff's Department and from the County Fire Department. We're going to start off with a video interview with Sergeant Mick Kelleher. He is the Chemical, Biological, Radiological, and Nuclear HAZMAT Specialist from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Please roll the video. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Mick Kelleher with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department HAZMAT Detail. My team is responsible for responding to chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear incidents in the Los Angeles operational area. We have been part of the CBRNE projects for approximately 8 years. We started off small, trying to get some type of telemetry as an officer safety issue. So as we were making entries into contaminated environments, someone else would have access to our meter readings and can warn us as our meters are alarming, so that we didn't have to pay 100% attention to them, because as cops we were always thinking tactical and don't always want to be looking down at our meters. From there we started to graduate to, can we share this with other agencies out there? We were very fortunate in the Los Angeles operational area that we have a lot of HAZMAT assets that had the need or want to join in on this. So we joined in with other fire departments, other law enforcement agencies, and county health departments to come together and share information at HAZMAT incidents. Start off with just a couple meter readings, going with 4 gas and 5 gas mirrors, and we've actually developed into both chem and rad. And now it gives situational awareness not only to local responders, incident commanders, but also to federal assets at national labs. As part of the Sheriff's Department, we're responsible for assisting in security of events of national interest, such as the Rose Bowl, Rose Parade, award ceremonies. We've had the chance to use the CBRNE project during this. It was great to be able to put sensors out and have all that information at real time go back to our command post to help us give sensor information so we know where to deploy assets if needed. Recently, at a large national event of interest, which was a football game with over 100,000 people in attendance, we set out the CBRNE project as sensors outside the fence line. The sensors were out there to detect radiation as it came closer to the stadium. Inside the fence lines were search teams with other detectors. The CBRNE project worked very well in the fact that as the sensor went off, the information was relayed immediately back to our command post, who was then able to tell the people out near that area that radiation was coming towards them. I was at one gate at a time when a source of radiation was coming through the gate. Not a terrorist event, not a criminal event, but just a large amount of radiation was coming through. My command post, by monitoring the CBRNE project, was able to give me a full minute to minute and a half warning that radiation was coming towards my gate. That allowed me and my team to start scanning the fence line and the gate for any threats and preparing for radiation to come through. As the radiation came through, we were able to determine that it was just a medical patient with radiation inside and not a threat to anyone. Behind me is one of our vessels called Ocean Rescue 2. On board we have equipment that's linked to the CBRNE. It's one of the largest rad detectors in the maritime realm. It's the largest on the West Coast. It is hooked into the CBRNE system so that as this boat's traveling around, it streams live data, including spectrum, back to not only my computer, but I can immediately share that information with national labs who can view it and manipulate the data. We also have a chemical sensor on board. So if we get intelligence that there could be some type of threat offshore or anywhere in the operational area, the boat can go out there as it's traveling around, take air samples, and let us know if it's a chemical warfare agent or toxic industrial chemicals. It can also provide safety for the people on board to know whether or not they need to have safety masks on. Ocean Rescue 2, as part of the Sheriff's Department, is only one of several maritime radiation assets in the nation. Talking to other agencies, I believe we are the only one that sends live data back to national labs. The Sheriff's Department decided to invest money into this and assets into this because they felt that the port was a major target. The LA Long Beach Port Complex provides access to 60% of all imports to our country. If this port complex was shut down, the amount of industrial imports coming to our nation would almost stop. The other ports on the West Coast are unable to handle the amount of volume that comes to this port. As part of this, we do joint operations with the United States Coast Guard and Customs and Border Protection. We'll actively go out and search container ships offshore before they get to the port to ensure that they're not bringing any threats into the port. The great part about the CBRNE project was the easy sell to all the agencies. Once you looked at the capabilities and the ease of sharing information, every agency wanted to buy into it. I've had the chance to travel around the country and see how other people share information, how other devices share information. And I was shocked when I first got into this job that there was no real standards for sending information out from a detector back to any type of communication device. One of the toughest part about the CBRNE is that technology is moving so fast. All of our meters had different ways of sending information out. One of the first obstacles to overcome was taking that data and putting it into a meter that could be sent out so that people could read it. After that was taken care of, the interoperability was great. Every HAZMAT agency out here now has it, so it's multi-agency, multi-discipline. LA County Rad Management has many rad meters out there that in the event of an incident, an accident, or a terrorist incident, they could put sensors out and we would know immediately from whatever computer I'm at where a radiation plume is at or a radiation threat is at. In the same effect, if I'm out looking for radiation and I find it, LA County Rad Management would know exactly where I'm at and what my readings are and can give me information that can safeguard myself when I'm in a radiation field. Readings on your meter are in microrem, millirem, rem. When you get that information, if you don't have this type of system, getting that information back out to your command post is often difficult. You're trying to read it, you're telling them millirem, they might hear microrem. Communications is often bad over radios. This system was great that there's no longer need for that radio communication going back and forth because we can see it. And I'm just amazed that other agencies throughout the nation haven't embraced this idea that, you know, instead of relying on someone's eyes to read a meter and then explain it to someone else who has to write it down or play the telephone game, the people at the command post or your incident commander or your team leader can read your personnel's meters immediately. This is great for safety, when to pull people out, or to give them further information of when they can stay in.